Yo, yo, yo. Let's go ahead. What's going on, y'all? We got a good one for y'all tonight, man. I'm gonna let a few people get on here for a few minutes before we start the show. Y'all know how we do. It's Monday night. We about to get it popping. Yo, what y'all do this weekend? What y'all had going on? Tell me. I got my DJ, my lo-fi beats going on right now. You know, I'm in my bag right now, you know. Share the post, man. We got the homie on here tonight. It's about to get interesting. I'm telling y'all. Pull my laptop up here. I'm gonna need everything tonight. Yeah. Come on. How y'all feeling? Y'all see my Halloween makeup? Did y'all see my Halloween makeup? I think, didn't I post it? Yo, it was crazy. I had like a little Halloween event. If you go on my, I think I posted it on, did I post it on TikTok? I know I posted it on IG. Let me go to the page. Yeah, tonight, man, I'm good. How you doing? Hey, tonight we got Cake Face Jay. She about to jump on here with us, and I'm telling you, we about to get it popping, man. It's gonna be a good show. I'm telling y'all, man. If y'all saw her post that she had put that spiritual word that went sort of viral the weekend, like I'm telling you, we got her on here tonight. She about to be on here in a few minutes. As soon as she get on, I'm going to go ahead and start the show. I'm going to go ahead and start now. You know what I'm saying? You know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to go ahead and start now. Here, let me see. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready to start the show? Y'all ready to start the show? Okay, all right. Hey, good evening. Is that, I got to turn this thing so I can see. Is that Sweet Red _10? Good evening, love. All right, like I said, we got Cake Face Jay on here, but I'm going to go ahead and start the show, so just rock with me real quick. What's going on, my good people? It is Halloween, October 31st. And you are listening to the First Off in My Opinion podcast with your host, Tom Swoop, broadcasting through my scary, spooky basement. I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. We got a good one for y'all tonight. We got Cake Face Jay, you know what I'm saying, on the show tonight. We waiting for her to log on. But if you're on IG and you caught her page or her post or repost from TikTok, where she was talking about, her relationship and stuff like that. And it was like one of the most transparent videos that I've ever seen. So it's on my page. I actually did like a little stitch mix to it. So she's about to be on tonight with us. We're going to get a chance to talk to her and, see where it go. But man, I'm excited. What did y'all do for Halloween? Y'all still out trick-or-treating? What y'all doing? What's up? Y'all got the Taylor Port and the Casamigos popping tonight? What's going on? Taylor Port went viral over the weekend. What's up, Tamara? Is that Tamara's? Is it Spivey? 826? What's going on, love? Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing, man. I really, really I'm excited about tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? She made the video. Um, man, it was dope. So if you're on my page right now, you can go back over and see where she was talking about just, I know how to do this with a man, I know how to do this, but it ain't working out. So she about to be on here. What's going on? Hey, is that Grant? Is that Grant Agu? Agu? Did I say it properly? Man. So another thing I want to talk to y'all about tonight. Okay, so you know how family we do our little story time moments on this show. And so I guess the story that I told last week, like I don't know what happened, but it sort of went viral. So if you missed it, you can go on, click the link in my bio and you can go to whatever platform to listen to the podcast. It's November 1st in Australia. Hey, we got listeners in Australia. We international, baby. But if you go on there and you listen to the podcast from last week, I tell two stories at I think probably like the 25-minute mark. And I guess, I don't know, for whatever reason, it was the most downloaded podcast episode that I've ever done. Ever done. And I've been doing this for the better part of 6 or 7 years. And I tell you, it went crazy. It went absolutely ham. Like, people was calling me, like, it was crazy. So if you get a chance, go back and listen to last week's podcast where, what I'm saying, we was talking about some different things. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a couple stories. It was a couple stories that I told about, my dating chronicles. Because the thing is, it's like, I think sometimes y'all be on the show, y'all be rocking with me or whatever, but y'all be forgetting that these stories be true. Like, they be my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the pictures of the feet is on my page. The pictures of the feet is on my page. It's on my IG. It's on my TikTok. If you want to see the feet, we was talking about that last week. The feet is on the page, bro. Like, you can go over there, look at the feet. Y'all thought I was exaggerating, but when I posted them feet, everybody was like, "Ooh, Jesus, goodness." Yeah, the feet was, yeah. I'm telling you, she got some Barney Rubble in her family somewhere. Somewhere. She got some Barney Rubble toes. So you'll see, y'all thought I was tripping, but I wasn't. So I'm just waiting right now for Cake Face J to get on here. I'm going to go ahead and send her a message real quick. She like, let me go look real quick and I'll be right back. I'm trying to tell you, I wasn't. Listen, it's one thing that y'all going to understand about this show. I'm silly, I'm funny, I'm serious, I'm empathetic, I'm understanding, but one thing I'm not gonna tell y'all no lies. So if I tell y'all some feet was looking weird, and happy Halloween to you, love. Oh, that's my girl. Yours truly, Jay. Got it. I was butchering that like last week. Hold on, let me send her a message real quick. Let her know we on here. I know she was going live before the show on her channel, so I want to make sure she was done with what she had going on before she come on here. Which one was it? Let me just make sure I got her together real quick. Thank you. You know, some people be saying I be having the energy, and I be like, I guess. Hey, look, she came back and she was like, yeah, oh, hell no. Like, I'm telling you, them feet, listen, I think that show, hold on, when I talked about the feet, that was maybe like 3 weeks ago. But you know something, I said to myself, and then my business coach had hit me up and she was like, you need to break down each individual story and make a video or a TikTok about it. And so people can watch and share the video or whatever like that. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. So you ain't got to tell me twice. You got to go look. All right, look. So Grant, let me just tell the story in a nutshell real quick. So I was going to this really exclusive gala in Atlanta with this girl I really just sort of met or whatever. And she, you know what I'm saying, we was matching, trying to match outfits. And so she had sent me a picture of herself in the dress. And so when I saw her in the dress, I sort of like bypassed the dress and I zoomed in on what appeared to be prehistoric feet. And after seeing that, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wear some open toes and da 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 da." And I was like, "Open toes gala with a whole bunch of famous, prestigious people, and you about to you gonna not with me, not with me. I don't. You can you not with not. I said the king." Hey, look, I was to this day, man. She of course she blocked me and all that, but I don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell y'all what it is. I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna do that. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Hold on, let me see if I can get old girl on here. For me, I be trying to still learn how to use this thing. Hey, look, I'm an honest person. When I tell y'all saw the feet, right? Y'all saw the feet. Now look, if you go on my IG, if you go on my personal IG, which is at Tom Swoop, you can see what I had on. Now, I had on that fire. You know what I'm saying? I had on that fire. Red bottoms, tuxedo. Beard Gang was, ping. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't about to walk around that room explaining her Stone Age toes. I just wasn't. I was not about to, "Hey, bro, so we was just wondering what era of the Ice Age was she from?" I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna do that. I'm just saying. Y'all rock with me, so y'all know who I am. So listen, I wasn't gonna do that. No, listen, that girl, you gotta go over onto the page. Go over onto the page and you'll see like the toes. Like if you scroll down a little bit on my TikTok, you'll see them just standing there staring at you. And then you'll understand that, I'm the victim of this story. You'll understand that, like, y'all need to send me some hearts and some likes and, probably even some cash apps because, I was traumatized. I was triggered when I saw those toes. Like, y'all, really? Like, I'm telling you, go look and come right back. I'm telling you, go look and come right back. And you will agree with me. And you will sponsor me. You will probably be like, "You know what? He needs help. He needs understanding. He needs treatment. He's been traumatized." Listen, you'll understand. After that, looking at toes became a prerequisite for me to even deal with a woman. Before I was traumatized. I was like, we going somewhere and she got tennis shoes on. The whole time I'm like, what do her feet look like under those shoes? You remember what happened in Atlanta? Like, man, when Ice Age toes. I'm telling you, man. Like, when I look at the toes, when I look at the picture, all I hear is like, fire. Listen, and she had the French manicure. It's like hammer toes with paint on them. Like, fam, come on, man. Y'all got to help me out with that. Yeah, I am the victim. I'm the victim. What do you mean? Yours truly? They are that bad. Hey, I personally feel like anybody who say that them toes ain't that bad, they got some hammer times too. They got some Too legit. Too legit to quit. They got some too. If you feel like I'm over it. If you feel like I'm exaggerating, them toes, listen. People who listen to the podcast right now, I need y'all to go to my IG at First Off in My Opinion or my TikTok at First Off in My Opinion and look at these toes and leave a comment. Because I need all future people to understand the level of prehistoric toes we're talking about tonight. I'm exaggerating. Okay, if you feel like I'm exaggerating, raise your hand in the comments. If you feel like I'm exaggerating, raise your hand in the comments. If you agree with me, put some laughing emojis in the comments. If you agree with me, put laughing emojis in the comments. I'm doing too much? Come on, man. I see a lot of laughing emojis. That's all I'm going to say. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm keeping it 100. Hold on. Let me send her. Hold on. She waiting for me. Hold on 1 second. All right, let me make sure she was waiting for me. Hold on, I'm on TikTok Live. Oh, okay. Let me see if she jump on. Okay, I got you. I got you. All right, you should have got the invite right there. Woo! Y'all still on me about them feet. Who said her toes was... See, Detroit, that's why you got 2 friends and one of them Jesus. I can't...
No. Wait, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so old school. I feel like a granny trying to do this. Hold on. Wait.
Hey, look, that's how I was about 3 weeks ago. That's how I was. I'm like, somebody tell one of them kids to come down here and show me the work this time.
Yeah, right? All right. I'm telling you, I'm like, man, look, like, I'm not a spring chicken, but I ain't just old. Just, yeah, hold on
now. Okay. Now, how are you? How are you, Cake Face J?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. I really appreciate it. Just really want to give you props too for just being so respectful of a very emotional video that has gone viral, and I'm so embarrassed now.
Listen. If you feeling embarrassed, you understand, like, that video got sent to me probably 200 times before I made the video. And people send me videos all the time, and they be like, Tom, you got to make a video about this. Tom, you got to get on this. And literally, I was like, okay, I was traveling. I was in Houston, and I was like, all right, as soon as I get home, people was like, hurry up. Listen, when I saw it, I felt like it was the most honest representation that I had seen on social media in quite some time. And first off, before we get into the nitty gritty, introduce yourself to everybody and tell them where you at, tell them, drop your handles, do all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. So I go by Jay, so it's not Jai. I know a lot of people say Jai, but it is Jay Monroe, you guys. Of course, you guys can follow me on TikTok at CakeFaceJ, and I'm currently in Houston, Texas. So, I'm glad to be back.
Hold on, you in Houston?
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
I'm in Houston all the time. I just left Houston.
I know. When you said that, I was like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I've been out here a couple of weeks now. So I'm happy to be back in the South. I was in the desert, so.
Okay. Now, how long have you been on social media, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing?
I have been on social media. I'm a little bit old, y'all, so I'm 36. So altogether, I think I've been on social media since Instagram has been out. So maybe about 12 years now, just kind of in the background. Never expecting to go viral. I think I've been on TikTok maybe a couple of months now. And funny story before we get into it is that I had another TikTok account, right? Where it's like all makeup and stuff like that. And I got locked out of that account. So the account that y'all see that went viral now, like I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to start recording my life and I'll just make this like a diary or something. I had no idea. So definitely God's work, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's get into the nitty gritty. You make this video.
Yeah.
You're crying. You're emotional. Yeah. What triggered this response? And like, just walk me through it.
Yeah. So, the first video I made, like I said, like I literally just moved to Houston, right? So as I'm sitting in this hotel room, I've moved from like a nice apartment, and I'm sitting in here, and I'm just realizing like I effed up. I effed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have a kid. This is not the way I wanted my life to be. And I'm sitting here, and I just happened to record it. And I'm like, you know, you're 36 and you realize the hot girl lifestyle and everything. And not even so much the hot girl lifestyle, but I guess like just the lifestyle that I was living. Like, you know, like I wasn't thinking about the future. So in that moment, I just recorded it. And that video started getting a lot of responses. And then I just had like a really emotional breakdown where I was just like, this is the truth. Like, you know, and to be honest with y'all, I was ready to go. I was tired. So I was just like, you know what, this is my truth. Here it is. And God, if this is the last video I make, you know, people will know that like I'm tired, which I'm okay. I want people to know that I'm okay. And it was just like, you know, I've been praying to God for a long time. I've been hurting for a long time. And I've been praying for a long time for God to just like release that pain that I was going through, right? And for a long time, I did go through my life blaming my mom, blaming my baby daddy. You know, I felt like he had ruined my life and stuff like that. And then it's just like at some point, I realized that I had to be accountable for the choices that I made. I had to forgive myself for some of those things that I was doing when I was younger, you know, and then just really realizing too that I want love, but realizing that I'm so afraid of it because I'm afraid that I don't know how to give it. I don't know how to receive it, but I know how to do all these things as a woman that are domesticated, right? Like I know how to seduce a man. I used to be a dancer. I know how to cook. You know, I have people in Louisiana, so I can cook good. I know how to keep a house clean, but I don't know how to love a man. And not just loving a man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm still working to love myself. Like that's something I've struggled with too. And just feeling really empty for a long time and feeling like how I'm ever, because I've been praying for a good man, but how can I ever pour into a man if I don't have anything to pour from? And it just hit me like.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay. It's impossible to love someone who's not ready to receive it.
That's true.
So your level of accountability is basically your organic actions. But if you pouring into, let's say like you just said, you know, you're trying to pour into somebody, but if you pouring into a closed faucet, it's not going to receive it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to receive what you pouring. So when the man you're dealing with, the man that you're, you know, choosing to deal with or whatever like that, if they're not receptive to your love, like what's going on in that realm? Like, is it a disconnect? Like this man just loving you, pouring into you, and you can't receive it? Or is it, you know, this is just a toxic individual who's not, you know, really in it like you in it?
Both. I feel like it's definitely a disconnect because I feel like the relationships that I was seeking, even because I've been in a domestic violent relationship too, and if I'm just completely honest with there, like when you have this ideology about yourself that you're not worthy of love, or you shouldn't be receiving love, and you're so used to chaos and stuff like that, like that's what I was looking for in those men, right? It was never about like I loved them at one point, but it wasn't really love. Like, you know, it's like maybe I need a place to stay, and now I'm kind of in a situationship, like with me and my son's father. I hate to be honest like that, but at the time, I really needed a place to stay, and I was like being honest with him, like I want to go to Miami and stuff like that to go dance, and then I get pregnant. But for me, I think that because I was so emotionally broken, that I was attracting and I wanted men that would emotionally or physically hurt me. That's hard to say. I don't know if a lot of women understand that, but I grew up in a very dysfunctional household, right? I grew up in chaos. I grew up in abuse, like, you know, and so as an adult, having these ideologies about like what relationships are, that relationships, because if I'm being honest with you, I haven't seen my mom being loved correctly. Most of my friends that are in relationships, I don't feel like they're loved correctly, or most of the friends I have, like their relationships are chaotic. So I always thought that like that's what a relationship was supposed to be. And then you get older and you realize like, no, like this isn't love. This isn't living. This is not how it's supposed to be. Mm-mm.
And I talk about that, a little bit on, some of my other videos, like based upon how you were living and your upbringing and how you see relationship periods. Like sometimes a healthy relationship comes across as boring, foreign, not used to it. And so you looking at guys who actually can love you, honor you, cherish you, treat you like you, but they're not appealing. They're not, attractive. They're not getting you, and they're not. And those are the guys who will handle you correctly. You know what I'm saying? But they, for whatever reason, they don't get their opportunity with you. You know what I'm saying? And how do we fix that? How do we get you to open up to allow a good man to really cherish you? And I know a lot of that is you seeing it and you and being able to receive it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how you feel about, your future, what you want for yourself. What actually is, it's calling a spade a spade. Like, do I really want a healthy relationship, or do I want one of these toxic relationships that be healthy every once in a while?
Right. And that's the thing too, like now that I'm older, and I don't think it's so much that like I passed on the good men, because not every relationship, and I've had like 3 serious relationships, but all of the guys were like hood dudes and things like that. But if I'm being honest with you, emotionally, I think that's something that a person has to fix within themselves, because it feels weird to me to be loved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a kid, and of course, like my kid and a man is 2 totally different loves. But even like sometimes, like when my kid wants to give me a hug, like it just feels weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like, oh, don't love me. Like I'm such an icky person. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that women, that we have to look into ourselves and understand that you do deserve love, and kind of undoing those ideologies that you've been taught, because you're more than just your body. You're more than just your face.
It actually does run deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like could be it could be like a level of like PSTD. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like think about it. Like you could take a soldier and put him right in battle and he's at home in it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you put him on a Sunday cookout with the family, who closed that door?
It's too weird, right? It don't even feel right.
You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it.
Don't feel right. It's like, what is this? This does not feel right. I'm waiting for the chaos. Where's the chaos? I need chaos, right? And that's why I came, and that's why a lot of times too, and especially I want to thank our community for letting me have a space where I don't have to come in makeup and I don't have to come in all these other things, because I was telling men that too, like I want y'all to get out just the physical, and I want women to get out of like, just like, oh, he got to have money, he got to have these things, because I'm telling you, everything comes with a price, ladies. Like if y'all can't take nothing else from this, please understand that everything that we think that we want, that maybe society is telling us like, oh, you need a man with this, and then he got to buy you Chanel bag. It all comes with a price. It comes with a price, y'all. It comes with a huge price when we are looking at people just for what they can give us, and we don't really know who they are, baby. It is demons.
Let me ask this question.
Pretty faces and
it's probably a little personal, but I mean, you're a very attractive woman. So do you find yourself being over-sexualized before you get to know somebody? And then is that a turn on for you? Like, is that like an entry point?
No, because you know what? It's always been that way. And I know that just as a woman, like I'm always ooh sexuality. I've been that way. At 14, I had red nails and heels. Okay, so no, it doesn't bother me, because I know that men are attracted to me. And that's why I was telling people it's not hard to get a man. That's not what I was saying. Like I can't get a man or things like that. Like I get it, right? Like of course I want men to be attracted to me. Like yes, but no, that's not a turn off for me, because we got to be real, right? Like looks always, it does play a part in the people that we want to be with and things like that. That's the first thing that we see about a person, right? That attracts us to them. But underneath that though, that's where that scary stuff starts coming in, because you got to really get to know a person. And sometimes it's not just all about looks. Like I've dated guys that I didn't think were too attractive, still got the same result. I dated like the guys that, that everybody in the city wanted, and it was just like still the same result. So I'm like, okay, if I'm dating different men, right? One's a dope boy, one's a 9-to-5er, and then one is a veteran. But I'm still getting the same result with these men. It can't be them. It's got to be something it's got to be something that I'm doing, right?
Well, I don't see me. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, that I think it's more to do with how a man is, his integrity, his character, without you in his life. Like, who is this man without me? So is this man somebody who honors women in the past? Like, does this man have a train wreck history of bad relationships? Does this man take care of his kids? Does this man a pillar of the community? Like, who is this man and what is his integrity like before I even get into a situation with him? Because the thing is, it's one thing, if he has good basic fundamentals of who he is as a person, those are problems that you're probably not going to have in your relationship. So you can actually concentrate on actually developing your love. But it's like, if you see cracks in a person's integrity and character off rip, you know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, men can make a whole bunch of money. Men can not have a lot of money. Men could be, like you said, in the military, but those flaws, those character flaws, those things stick. Those things travel. Those things go with them everywhere they go. So it doesn't matter, like the money or whatever. The looks. I've seen the ugliest men act ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Right? With some of the prettiest women, right? And I be like, girl, he got money, don't he?
So,
but maybe that's not it. But
But you gotta ask yourself though. It part of that is that attraction. Like, what initially attracts you to these men? And the thing is, we got to be honest. Sometimes we be attracted to toxicity. We be attracted to what's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, if me and you was to go to the buffet, I'm heading for everything that I should not be eating.
Me and you
know what I'm saying? So it's like the salad bar, the last thing on my mind.
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
Like
I'm like, where them steaks, where them burgers? Yes. So we do that in dating. We do that in dating sometimes. We go after the exact thing we said we was not going to deal with no more. And so, like, when we walk back that let's say the last situation you was in, like, how fast did you know, like, okay, that's something I said I wasn't going to do no more, and I did it? Like, you had that moment.
You know what? Because my 3 exes are so different from each other, what I will say, one of my toxic traits is I fall into relationships. Like I don't plan them. Like, and instead of really just, I am bad at saying no. So a lot of times, like, okay, so for instance, let me give you an example. Like my last ex, right? An older gentleman, and I used to bartend, and he would come to the bar, and it started off, maybe $5 here, 10, 20, and now he's tipping me $100. And instead of me just being like, I really don't like this man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I even, entertaining him and things like that? Because I know I'm going to end up wasting time, which we ended up together for 4 years. But a lot of times, like, I just fall into these situationships with men, and I don't even take the time to say no. Like, like, this is not really what I want, which is why I couldn't blame men. Like, and I don't know what it is about me, because I've never really taken my time out to, like, actually, like, I've been on dates and stuff like that, but I don't think like I did dating the right way, where I actually get to know a man and like we're having like conversations, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have definitely been that girl that just kind of falls into everything, like, like, and it's super fast. And then now, boom, you're here and you're like, damn, like I really don't even want to be here. The same way, like when I got pregnant, like it was so fast.
So when you're dating these men, let me just ask you this question. Besides, because you said, you got, pregnant within 90 days with the son or whatever. Like, what typically is your sexual window before, you feel like you need to go there with somebody?
So I don't want to call that man a fluke, Lord.
You said
Jesus. I don't want to say that about my baby daddy, y'all, but that typically, I have one child, so I don't have multiple children. So let me put that out there right now. That typically doesn't happen. But I would say maybe about like 60. Not that I could put like a whole time frame on it, but anywhere between like 60 to 90 days, which is still too soon to me because you don't know a person in that time frame.
Are in your head, is you saying like, oh well, you know what, I'm gonna wait 30 to 60 days, or is it more so like I'm not sexually interested, or is it like first night I wish I want to bust it wide open, but I ain't what.
Last two, I really just kind of forced myself. Like the first one, that's a whole different situation. But the last two, no, I think it was just like vibes and liquor, and that does not mix. So, but again, like those relationships were about survival, right? And like I said, like when I was 14, and again, not to blame men, but because I'm not gonna play victim, because I was telling those grown men that I was like 17, like you know what I'm saying. So I can't play victim in that. Like I understood what I was doing, but I got so used to that, right? So where like, you know, like you're using your body to essentially, let's call a spade, like, you know what I'm saying? Like sleep with men and whether that's providing shelter, whether they're doing things for me and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to think of myself as a prostitute. So where, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, here's $40. Like, you know what I'm saying? But basically, you know, I mean, shit, we gotta look at things and how they were. And so because I was operating like that, when I would get in these relationships, it was kind of the same thing. Like my baby daddy, like I'm sleeping with him because at the time, if anybody's from Louisiana and y'all know where like Crawley and Lafayette is, I used to work at Desperados. So if you know anything about Louisiana, like people hate driving to Lafayette from Crawley because they feel like it's like driving to Houston or some things. Mm-hmm. But I knew he was gonna want something, right? Like you're not just gonna let me stay. You know what I'm saying? You're not letting me stay here for free. Now, even though I'm being honest with you and telling you, like, hey, like I want to let you know that you know I'm a dancer. Like I'm trying to go to Miami. I want to go get my body done. I need somewhere to stay so I can stack up my money. So I think too, because I was so used to operating in survival, that sex with these men just really was like transactional. It wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like intimacy for me. And unfortunately, I need men to understand that just as men say they can cut off their emotions and not really, when they're doing whatever they're doing with a woman and not really care, so can women. Because at one point, you just become numb to it. Like it just, you know, it just, I don't know, you just start operating that way. And that's really, I don't know, y'all, that's hard to say and talk about, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not true.
I totally get it, because even when I watch your video, I don't see your video being you attached to a man or a failed relationship, more so than a self-reflection of your own personal story. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, I miss this nigga, I miss him, I want to be with him, or nothing like that. I didn't get that. What I got was, this is my story, this is the state of my life, and I'm tired of it, and it's not what I want, and that's how it came across to me. Now I could be wrong, you know, this is your story, but
no, that's exactly what it was like, and I think people will find it hard to believe, but like I've been celibate and single for 5 years now, and but I don't think I would have ever got to that breakthrough moment that I had not being single, because I do hold on.
Mm-hmm. So you saying you've been celibate right now?
I can go get my Bible. I can go get my Bible for you. Like,
hold on a second. Hold on. You said you ain't busted it open, not even
ain't nothing.
A smidge.
Ain't nothing. My last relationship was in 2017. And my son changed me too. Not, I don't want people to think like I'm just some like wild whore or something like that. But before I had my son, like, look, mama had a life. My son changed me though a lot. So the only other man that has been around my son was the last person I was in a relationship with, and I was with him for 4 years. I broke up with him because he was cheating. Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, I've been single. I've been single for the last 5 years, single and celibate. Like,
now let me ask you this question: it's a lot of people watching right now, and
oh God,
when you single and celibate, and this is just something I believe that happens, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you're single and you celibate and you build this single life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have behaviors, traits, routines that you start to
Mm-hmm.
do, how you
Yep.
live your life, how
Yep.
you cope with like being horny, all of that stuff. You
Right.
build a life in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make it difficult to get back out there and actually start dating?
Hell yes. Hell yes. Because you know why? When you take the time to be single, you really start, like you said, like you start to get settled in your ways. And I'm getting older, y'all. I'm 4 years away from 40, right? So you start to kind of get settled in your ways. And then now that I want different things, right? Like I want to buy a house. And I started thinking, like, okay, well, if I get in a relationship, I got a house. If we get married, like I'm not leaving my house and I'm not selling my house for no man because this is for my son. So you start thinking about all these other things. And then, yes, y'all, it changes the way you view relationships because being single for a while, you go through so many different emotions. But it changes the way. And so, I'm looking to get back into the dating world, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Like I see the rhetoric from men, I see the rhetoric from women, and I'm just like, oh God, you gonna have to work a miracle.
I mean, because me, I personally feel like when you on the sideline, and that's like being single and celibate.
Mm-hmm.
You on the sideline and you looking at the dating world and you like, dang, everybody just say it's so da 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 da. I look at that, you know what I'm saying, with a grain of salt because I look at it like people still getting married, people still falling in love,
Oh
people
yeah.
still houses, still people still becoming millionaires, people still building generational wealth through their families.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still happening. The problem is the negative people got the microphone.
Yeah. I agree.
They
I
got the
agree.
mic.
I agree. I agree, right?
And we don't
And
celebrate healthy relationships. Like we
we
just don't.
don't. We don't.
And
We laugh
and
at that. We say that's corny.
exactly.
And I'm like, I want something corny. Like that's what I want. Like I don't want all that rough toxic. Like I want my man to cuddle me. Like I want to be cuddled. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if he work a 9 to 5. I'd rather come home and I know my man is home. I didn't cook because I'm a good ass cook. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to rub my feet in the bed and watch ID with my man laid up beside me. Like I do not want the hot boy anymore. Like, no. Like, babe, like I want my man to come home to a nice, clean home and the home is decorated nice and as a single mother, like I definitely like single fathers, like you know what I'm saying. So that doesn't bother me. So, but yeah, I want that now. I definitely want that, and I think too, ladies, if I'm being honest with y'all too, when y'all saw me crying, like I had to apologize to my son because and he's here now, but we definitely have talks, and I felt guilty about that too because I was like, you know what, like I didn't take the time to do it right and now you're suffering those consequences for that. Like I want you to have a good male role model in your life. Like even as a single mother, I'm not looking for somebody to be his daddy because I got him at the end of the day. Like that's mine. I'm gonna always take care of him. But yes, I want him to have a positive, you know, male role model and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to break those generational curses. So and when you get older, like you just start thinking about all the stuff that you were not thinking about in your 20s. Like it just hits you. It really, really does. Like
Now, when you did the video, and was it Spiritual World or the Shade Room, or was it Spiritual Word? They reposted it.
Neighborhood talk. Yeah, shout out to
Okay,
them.
so when it got reposted and it started to get some traction or whatever, now was it a lot of negative people or was it all positive? Because I know it's always some negative Nancy.
No, it's always some negative Nancy's, but you know what? Surprisingly, um, the community from the men and the women, like our community, it was overwhelmingly positive. Like that touched me because again, just as a black woman, to have black men, especially with the discord that's on social media right now between black women and black men, and to have black men like be like, sis, like I understand where you're coming from, or even to have men tell me that they understood that. I had another gentleman that stitched it, and he said the same thing. He was like, sometimes as a man, like we know how to dress y'all up, we know how to like spend money on you and things like that, but sometimes loving a woman, like sometimes a man doesn't know how to do that either. And I had no clue. I was shocked. I was really, 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 really shocked. And as a black woman, I don't want anybody to think that I was doing that for attention, y'all, because like as long as I've been on social media, I ain't never had no damn crying video. Like I'm like a crybaby gangster, like But to have black men embrace me, and because I feel like black women, I feel like we always have each other's back, even when we're arguing with each other. over social media, like Black women, we will always look out for each other. But to see the brothers come in here and be like, I respect it, I salute that. And I think maybe, just maybe, Black men needed to hear a woman holding herself accountable and not blaming them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And saying like, oh, it's men's fault, or it's y'all ain't shit, y'all ain't this. And no, I know the choices I was making, and I realize it. And yeah, like at some point, I gotta be responsible for me. Like it's not, it's yeah. I still like men.
It
I ain't one of
definitely
them.
it definitely is a conversation starter, because it's like when you see somebody be transparent and open up about something, and then they're not bashing any other person, they're taking all this self accountability. The first thing you do as any person, you become empathetic to them, and so you're like how you said, the other gentleman was like, well, I haven't been the best man to a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of men know how to purchase women.
Right.
They
Right.
don't know how to love them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They know how to provide a certain amount. But then it's true enough, some women just like money. But that's not
Right.
love. That's
Right.
not
And
love.
it's not. It's not. And to me, you know, I'm glad that men got to see me being vulnerable, because I feel like maybe it'll kind of explain sometimes that, like, no woman grows up as a little girl and says like, oh, I'm gonna be a woman that, like, I just want to date rich men and things like that, or I'm gonna be an exotic dancer, or I'm just gonna use men. Nobody grows up and says that. I do feel like sometimes life jades us, and we can't use it as an excuse, right, to continue hurting people. But yeah, but I mean, it is some women out there that just feel like, it's all about the money. And I used to be one of those girls, because, and let me tell you, as a dancer, it changes you. It changes you. Like, once you realize that the P has power, you know what I'm saying, and not maybe power over every man, but once you kind of realize that, it's just like, ooh, it changes you. It really changes your mindset of how you view men and things like that. And to me, a lot of women that say like, oh, I just want a man with money, that used to be a defense mechanism for me, right? Because then it kind of weeds out the good men, right? So then I can just kind of like focus on the ones that I can manipulate. And I know I can manipulate you because you want what I got and I want what you got. So yeah,
Like
that's
you
definitely a
said, it
defense
becomes
mechanism.
transactional. And it's like when it becomes transactional, love is no
No
longer
emotions.
in the picture. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Building anything strong is no longer. As long as I have money and long as you have kokukuchi, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
work. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So until it doesn't, and then now you turn back and you look back at it and you be like, okay, what have we been doing for the last 5 years? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And it's like
Right.
time is undefeated. And I say this all the time on the show. Time is undefeated. The time you waste, in those situations, like I always tell people, like, it's cool when you in your 20s and 30s, but when you like staring down the barrel of 40, 50, 60, 70, you be like, what? If your 70-year-old self could talk to your 30-year-old self,
Right.
she'd
Right.
cuss you out. She'd cuss you
Right.
out. She'd cuss you out for 2 hours. And
Right.
that's what people got to understand. You're going to be old. And what you doing at 25,
It
35,
matters.
you will
It
not be doing at
matters.
70.
It
You will
matters.
not. So
Right.
I say that all the time. You know what I'm saying? People need to really look at the long road, because
Mm-hmm.
life and time are coming
They
regardless.
are. They are. They are. Now, let me ask you, I'm just curious because I really, and I spoke on Kevin Samuels too. And to a degree, like you said, like that's what I understood what Kevin was saying. Like, listen, like if you're going to play the game, like you got to understand, because like you say, I have a manager that will tell me, it's a new bad beat that turned 18 every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to play the game, like, you could play it, but I can't guarantee you'll get the results you want. But as a man, though, like when you said that sometimes like men are just transactional with women, do you think that maybe that's like a defense mechanism for men, so that they, I did that so I don't get hurt, because if it's transactional, I don't have no feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about getting hurt. I don't have to worry about if you cheat on me. I don't have to worry about anything you're doing, because we're even now. Like,
What women got to understand, and ladies, y'all pull y'all notebook out on this one right here. Men are more emotional than women, but not in the traditional sense.
mm-hmm.
And when I say the traditional sense, you're probably not going to see a man sitting around crying,
Right.
But will you'll see his behavior and his mood and his temper and all of those things react. And
Mm-hmm.
all of that is emotion. So to protect himself from his emotions, he makes things transactional. He makes them black
Wow.
and white.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I can purchase her and then I can, you know what I'm saying, long as I provide this money, she can't touch my emotions.
Wow.
She is my
Ooh.
property.
Ooh.
And so they take this relationship throughout their life. I know men right now in their 40s and 50s still behaving this way. And
Mm-hmm.
what happens is eventually that woman's like, nah, this ain't love. Nah, this ain't what I want my life to be. And this is why you got 50, 60, 70-year-old men single, alone in nursing homes, ain't seen their kids, ain't seen, don't got no women. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
they built a life upon transactional, non-emotional attachments.
That's deep. That's real. Yeah. That is,
And
and I never thought about it like that, which is why I'm so glad you invited me, because I was like, you know what, I feel like it's so nice to have these conversations like with a respectful man or a woman, like, you know, so that we can get past the insults and things like that, and really talk about like what's important, like, you know, because I'm like, and I'm just like, God, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what door or cheat code I unlocked on the internet. I have no idea. I'm gonna try to keep the momentum going, but I never thought about it like that. And sometimes I feel like as a woman hearing that from the men, like it makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I can't listen to a man like, you know, if a man is calling me like Big Shirley and old and washed up and stuff like that, like it makes I don't want to listen
I
to that. Like, you know what I'm
listen,
saying? But
I love Kevin Samuels. I love his demeanor, his, you know, it wasn't, listen, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't what he was saying. It was
hmm,
how he
how?
was saying it.
Yeah, it was definitely how. It was definitely how.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, you got to understand, it was a lot of women going on his show to
Yeah.
get that rough response.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think about it, sometimes you do need to get slapped to get your attention. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a hug and a comforting,
It
sis, you
don't
can
work,
do it.
right?
That don't
Yeah.
do it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Girl, if you don't pull away from that table, your ass gonna break it. Now, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Yeah.
that worked better than a hug.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it's like people who really had a big problem with him was the same people who was tuning in every week. So
I know, right, right, right. So yeah, and I agree, because I did try to listen to it. And that's why I said like some of the things, like I get what he was saying, like absolutely, like I do. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I didn't pick up what he was putting down. But you know, and it's just like, how do we, well, like, what do you know? Because everybody asks me that, like, well, where do you go from here, or like, you know, like, what are you thinking about a good man? And I'm like, I don't know, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, like I want a relationship, but it's just like, you know, it would take a hell of a man to love me, because right now I'm just living in my truth, you know, and I
I'm
think that's
gonna tell
what.
you this: the man who loves you doesn't need to have special powers. He just needs to love you, and you need to be able to receive it. Um, I think one of the things you should do, and I don't know if therapy has played in a role in where you at right now,
Mm-hmm.
is to learn how to be happy. Like I always say, like I talk to women, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when I coach them, I ask them like, okay, what do you do to have fun by yourself? Like, what are your hobbies? Not with the kids, not with anybody else. Like, what do you do for fun? Like, what is your fun thing that you do? And then start building upon that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
like if you like, so let's say we talking and you like, well, Tom, I like to go to the gun range. I like to shoot guns. You know what I'm saying? Start building those activities in your life, right? And then start finding common interests with other people. So now you building relationships.
I
Because the
like
thing
that.
is, a relationship don't got to be your jumping in point. A couple good friends
Right,
do. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, you can just get a
right.
couple good friends, and once you start to, oh, I got some friends I can count on. They're dependable. I can feel love from them. That'll open up the door. So now you can receive love from other people. Everybody think the relationship, oh, the man or the woman is the first big step. Nah, having some good friends will work just as fine.
And that's important, because I don't think I you know, I don't know if men go through that. I imagine that you do. But yeah, when our girlfriends hurt us, like the people that we consider friends
Mm-hmm.
that know what we're going through, and then you betray me, like that's I think, oh, that's almost worse than getting cheated on by your man. Like, getting cheated on is like, yeah, it hurt. But my girlfriend, like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that like I've been through so many things with you, and then you would do that to me, like, yeah, like that hits a little bit different.
Yeah, it
Yeah, the
definitely
ladies
do.
know, they like facts. I'm like telling you, girl, like losing a friend is like, oh girl, it's like,
And listen, like I say it all the time, when you lose good friends, like how you said, you're in your 30s, when you lose good friends in your 30s and 40s, it hurt because it's like, oh, I done had this friend since high school. Ain't no
Yeah.
going back to high school.
Yeah.
Ain't no more finding 20 and 30-year-old friends. You just don't find them.
Yeah.
So that's what, I mean, sometimes I'll be like, hey, we got to go to therapy together. Like, we got to fix our relationship because I can't find another 25-year friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, that's a whole nother podcast episode about friends because I be like, let me hold on to you somehow, some way. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody stab you, twist it, and turn it, you got to let them go. You know what I'm saying? You got to let them go. But sometimes we break up or we, disengage with friends over stuff that we could probably work through. Hold on, let me see. I be trying to read the comments, but they be so little on my screen. Hey, I apologize if I'm not reading them. Hey, what's going up, Erica Chambers? What's going on, y'all? Hey, man, send them likes, and man, y'all need to send her some coins, man. Go ahead, coin her up, rose her up.
Thank y'all.
But like, where do you see yourself going, like on social media right now? Because it's like now you got this, this platform, and it's like, what do you do with it? Women are probably inboxing you like, girl, your struggle is my struggle. We sisters in the faith, child.
I am over, I won't say overwhelmed. Like I am blessed. I am blessed to have this platform, but I'll be honest, like I really don't know where to go from here because I don't want the momentum to stop. And and I'm like, well, damn, I share with y'all my most darkest truth. Like, I don't think I have anything else. but whew, I don't know. I'm new to this. I'm new to this. I told you, I was like, I don't even know how to work this live. I don't know how to do this stuff here. And so many people are like, like, I want to invite you here. I want you to come speak on this and speak on that. And I guess just keeping 100 with people.
That's
like, and I definitely think too. Yeah, and even for the ladies too, like I think that it feels good to have somebody that they can see that is not dressed up in a, I put on some makeup for here today, but just, like change the game on social media somewhere, especially for women, because I don't feel like we talk about that. And I always say that too, because I always keep the men in mind. Like, I don't know if men get, insecurities from like social media, right? Because, we're so busy comparing our lives to everybody else, but I just want the ladies to be free, to be themselves. And if I can kind of start that fire and keep it going, yeah, that's definitely my goal. And
yeah, I definitely feel like you started a conversation and a line of dialogue that was needed. And that I definitely feel like you need to keep it going, whether that's going live a little bit more, whether that's, developing the channel a little bit. Because I really feel like what you putting down is so needed and so refreshing. Because it's not like it's not like other people. Like other people, they talk about it from the standpoint of toughness, where you stood right in the mud of your mess, and you said, you know what, I'm gonna stand in and I'm gonna own it, and then I'm gonna move forward. But I mean, I do want to ask you one question though, like from I'm gonna get on the not the withholding the coochie. I'm gonna get on that because so the 5 years, you know what I'm saying, celibate. Being celibate is always been interesting for me because when you have sex and you like sex and you need sex, to go without sex for 5 years, and especially if you know what you're doing with the sex, for 5 years, put it on the shelf, to hide it away, to keep it back, to dam it up,
so let me tell y'all,
to lock it down.
Oh,
How is
it,
that
it is
every day?
hard. It is hard. It is hard. But too, y'all, like
I
before I
know
came
that
back,
would be me. It is hard.
it
It
is
is.
hard. It is hard. But I feel like too, like God kind of put me away because I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I don't know if anybody's from New Mexico, or I don't know if you've been to New Mexico. It is like a country desert. Like there's
Yeah.
not a lot of
It
us
sounds like
out
yeah.
there. So there wasn't like guys for me to like meet or talk to. And when I moved to Albuquerque, like I had just Hurricane Ike had hit out here in Houston, and I had came to visit a friend back in Austin, and I ended up like losing like all my stuff. And so my mom is actually from New Mexico, so that's how I ended up out there. But then too, like in the midst of it, like I had gained like a whole bunch of weight too, so I wasn't really like like looking for a man or things like that, like because I'm just like I know I like to look a certain way, and I don't feel that way right now. So I think too, just like that, I think that's all the reason, probably because had it been space and opportunity, I can't say that I would be celibate this long.
I mean,
So,
but right now, you holding on to it right now.
but but you know what? But okay, so one thing about me as a woman is that I know men say like they don't care about like money and things like that, but I just can't be a bum, like And right now, like I'm not in a situation. When I came to Houston, I was just like, you know what? It's too expensive for me to try to move a truck, my stuff, all this other stuff, right? To come down here. So I told my son, I was like, look, we'll stay in a hotel for a couple of weeks. And I just feel like before I could even date a man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to have my shit together because I don't want a man thinking like I'm a bum or, like he got to be a Captain Save-A-Ho and things like
This
that.
is
Because
what
that's how it used to be.
listen, what like that's what I'm saying. Like you need to keep it going because I'm gonna tell you like that. Every woman ain't gonna say that. They're not gonna say that. Like if anything, they're gonna say the other part of it. Like I'm gonna get out there and meet somebody who can help me or
Oh,
put
no. Like, where
and
we
and,
go
and
wild,
that's what I'm saying. Like
no. Oh, no.
I listen, I'm gonna go ahead and give you some flowers. Cause hey y'all send some hearts, y'all send whatever y'all gotta send. Listen, this woman right here, they made
No, I'm
one,
serious
broke the
though.
mold, threw it in the trash. Cause
I'm serious, but I don't want just any kind of man. So it's like I wouldn't want a man coming in here and just thinking like, well, that, like, like, girl, what is this? Because if I went to a man's house or he invited me somewhere and you got water stains in the ceiling and who y'all, this is like a crack roach hotel. And that's another reason too I wanted to stay into the hotel because like Houston, like this, it's a decent area, but then if I go down the street right there, it's nothing but hood. Like I told y'all, like it was a couple of shots ringing out like a couple of days ago, and I'm like, oh my
ooh,
god, like
what part of Houston
no.
you in? You in
I'm
the
on the
fourth
north
ward?
side. I'm on the north side. Like I'm like, listen, I'm like, baby, I got to get out. But so I was like, I need to take my time. But no, that's just me too. And you know what? And because I was using men for money, and like now that I'm not in that situation anymore, like I want a man. Like it doesn't matter to me if he's rich, right? Because I'm not rich right now, so I don't need you to have a Maserati. I don't have a Maserati. I don't need a Rolls Royce because even if you could buy that for me, if you left me, I can't maintain it, so it doesn't matter. But I do need a man that's about action. So when I say BDE, like I like to see a man that has something going because I want that energy to be on me. And I just don't want to date somebody right now. And I'm just like, I'm just not in a position to really date when I got other things that I'm trying to do. And just, I don't want my man thinking I'm a bum. And two, let me tell y'all two ladies, like if you give a man the power to starve you because I thought that's what I wanted, right? Like the last guy I was dating was really, really wealthy, paid for everything. But as soon as he was done, like I wasn't getting no more money. He wasn't trying to help me with nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't ever want to be in that position again to where somebody can starve me.
Yeah.
Like, nope. I'll
And that's
never
what
let
I
you do
was
that to
saying.
me.
Like, a man, if you enter something and he can purchase you and then not attach his feelings or emotion or, to you, and it's just a bill, when he's done paying it, he's done paying it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And he's
Yep.
gonna release you back into the wild. And it's
Yep.
like
And he
he
do
gonna
not
act like
care.
it never
Do
existed.
not care. So I
And
would never tell the girls to. I get it, women that want to be stay at home moms, like I get it, but I would always tell you, I don't care, and I'm not married, so please don't take this the wrong way, because someone be like, well, y'all can't get a man, but I'm telling you, I don't care if I was married to a rich man, I will never let a man again have the power over me to like where he pays for everything you don't have a skill, you don't have a trade, you don't have anything, because then to me, like, you're not a helpmate anymore. Now you're a bill. Like you're like his
You
child. So
property.
I pay everything here. I'll come home when I want to. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You got some money to pay the bills? No, you don't. So you gonna shut up. I'm gonna come home when I want to. I'm gonna give you some money. You gonna cry about it. You gonna spend your money, and then we'll be right back here again next week. So
Anitra in the comments said financial abuse is a real thing.
Oh, it
And
is.
that's the truth. That is the God's honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
Financial abuse is a real thing, and people don't even look at it as it's very traumatic to people. Like it's very triggering to people. I got a friend right now that like will not date a man who like does anything financially for her. Like she doesn't want any. She don't want a quarter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She don't want nothing. You
Yeah.
keep your money, I keep my money, and we'll just be fine. But I don't want nothing from you.
And I get it, right? I get it, probably like something that she went through. Now, me personally, now, look, you know, you got to do something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I do like to be spoiled. I want to be daddy princess, but not to the point where, you know what I'm saying, he just, you know, everything that I need from him, my clothes, my hair, my nails, my all this stuff. No, never again. Ever. I would never do that.
So, before we wrap up tonight, I have this thing on this show where I tell stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
I usually finish the show off with a story about one of my dating like escapades. But since you're my guest tonight, I want you to give me the craziest date you've been on.
The craziest date?
The craziest date you've been on.
Oh, Lord.
Come on, be transparent. Tell us everything.
I would say, oh no, that's not a date. I don't think I have like a really, really crazy date, y'all. Like, I don't think I've had a crazy date. I can tell y'all one of the craziest requests that I got.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Woo! Oh my goodness. I think that's TMI. Let me see if I can go back. Let me reel it in a little bit more. The craziest request that I've gotten recently is that I had somebody tell me that they wanted to be my slave.
Hold on, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me that they wanted to be my slave. Like, I was like, what? Like, you know, I'm not into
They wanted
that.
you to dominate them?
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
It was a man?
Crazy. Yeah, a man, yeah.
He wanted you to put the leather on with the whip and all that?
Well, I'm not sure what he had in mind, because I was like, if I make you a slave, like, it ain't gonna be like, listen, I mean, I've never done that, but no, I was just like, what?
Somebody
like,
in the comments said, was he white?
Yeah. How you
Was he white?
It was a white man. It was a white man.
It was Greg from the
like,
comments.
What? You wanna be my what? Like, oh,
you know,
Lord.
I just watched the video today, and I don't know if you've heard of this, but I guess it went viral or whatever, but I guess it's this group of men like on Facebook, and these groups you can get in. And so beautiful women get in these groups and they fly them out to different locations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they give them like, you know, Birkin bags. They give them a whole bunch of cash. And it's no sex. Like, you're not having sex with them. But you must allow random men.
Is this Dubois?
Poop on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about the girls in Dubois.
To poop on you. Like, to poop in your mouth, poop on your back, poop on you. And it's like big money. It's like really big money. And it's just a very degrading thing.
I was going to tell you my worst strip club story, but I did have a guy that asked me to urinate in his mouth. And I did it. I ain't gonna lie to you, but yes. And it was a black man. Listen, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got to listen. I'm serious, y'all. Okay, listen. I'm living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have some stories for my grandchildren. Oh, Lord. But yeah, I've heard about the girls in Dubois, and I recognize when the girls be, you know, prostituting and stuff on IG. Like, I be peeping it, but you know, I don't judge nobody, because I'm like, just be careful, sis. Get it how you live. Just understand, everything comes with a price. So no,
Yeah.
I've never been to Dubois. So don't y'all even, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure somebody gonna stitch. She's like, oh yeah, she said she peed in a man's mouth. Like,
Hold
please
on, but
take a
I do
good
gotta
day.
ask,
Use
like,
it.
when you peed in his mouth, like, cause I mean, it's like being at the hibachi spot and you sort of like, are you
No,
trying
he
to
said
catch it?
VIP rules.
Like,
Like, you know
was
what I'm
he
saying? So
swallowing as you was peeing, or what was, or it was just
squatting and peeing and got paid me $1,000 to pee in his mouth. Like, I'm serious, a black man at that, y'all, a black man at that. And I was just like, shit.
ooh,
Like, whoa, shit. That's all you just want me to pee? Like, you want me to pee in your mouth? Sorry, you want me to really urinate in your mouth? Okay. I mean, shit. But other than that, I think that's like probably like the craziest, wildest thing I've done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in the strip club. Like, other than that, like, I
you
don't
ever
know.
had sex in the champagne room? Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Them girls be lying to y'all. If they be like, I don't be doing that. Yes, they do. 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 What you think the VIP room is for, especially if it's a close. Now, not all clubs are like that. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, like, well, let me not say unfortunately, but yeah, that club that I worked at in Louisiana, it was very much like the Players Club. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. That's why that shit is shut down. They have demolished it. Now, here in like Houston and stuff like that, like, no, like VIP rooms are like very like open. And I think the last time, y'all, that I tried to dance, I just couldn't do it anymore, was like V Live, and this was like probably like 2016, but I couldn't do it. It didn't feel right. Like, I was froze on stage. I was just like, girl, like, yeah, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I know it's nasty, y'all, but listen, y'all go find that suit. I do not be caring, y'all, baby.
Listen, y'all go follow my girl, Cake Face J. Y'all follow her, y'all support her, y'all gotta rock with her. Like, everybody who listens to the podcast, whether you're on Spotify or iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes Store, you know what I'm saying? Follow the homie, like, for real. And I'm telling you, she gonna bless y'all. And
You
I
did
got
not tell me
feeling
this
she
was
got a
going
lot
on.
of stuff to come.
Ooh, is this off record or off record, y'all? Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for having me. And again, just thank you for being so respectful. This was like really, really fun, and just thank y'all so much again to everybody for the love and support. I hope y'all can just adapt to my goofy, crazy personality and my crying moments. But thank y'all again. I really appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming on. Once again, another episode of First Off in My Opinion. This is Tom Swoop, and we out of here. Talk to y'all
Bye.
later.
Thank you.
Bye.